Welcome to Website and TV. I'm Gemma Houghton. Today I'm joined by Duane Brown, who's the performance marketer at Unbounce, to talk to us about mobile marketing and how we can all do it better. So hi Duane, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. So firstly, just as a kind of opening starting point, what do you think are the biggest mistakes that are still made around mobile marketing?
I think there's a couple of big mistakes. Usually a lot of companies won't create an experience that works on mobile, so you have like buttons don't work, or the experience from desktop to mobile is very different. And then I also just find that in general, there's just it's hard to convince people to buy a mobile device because a lot of people don't buy it. They use it for research or they use it to watch entertainment. So you've got to really condition your audience to want to buy a mobile device, and that's not the easiest thing to do.
And are there any kind of trends or key behaviors that you think mobile users display compared to desktop users that marketers need to be aware of?
I think the big trend, obviously, is a lot less people are using tablets these days. Like, you've seen a good sort of drop off or decrease in tablet use, and a lot more people on like smartphones, whether it's an iPhone or Android. And then the other sort of big trend, I think, is just looking at people want information that makes sense and succinct, and sometimes you find mobile experiences have lots of pop-ups or have lots of ads. And so like if I'm on a website and I get a pop-up 30 seconds later and it blocks what I'm looking at, that makes a really bad experience on a mobile versus a desktop where you could easily click it close. Because I've been on websites where I can't close it and I'm on my computer versus when I'm on my phone, and it's awkward.
So it's very much about making sure you're giving the user the best experience they can have.
Yeah, totally.
And you mentioned there about the fact that more people still use mobile for research than to actually complete transactions. What can a business do with their mobile offering and their mobile website to encourage transactions, encourage people to actually buy on that device?
I think you basically got to make your mobile experience strip down to the lowest common denominator. So if lots of people on your website have like the iPhone 3, then you need to make your experience to that, because if it's a great experience on iPhone 3, it'll be an amazing experience on iPhone 6, and we shouldn't try to always cater to the latest phone or the latest smartphone. And then if you find, let's say a lot of people are on an Android versus an iPhone and there's features on an Android, then try to make your site take advantage of those features, whether it's like mobile pages in terms of like amped for Google, or if it's a bigger screen, taking advantage of that versus trying to just make your website for the latest and greatest phones that come out there.
And you mentioned something there relating to speed really and the size of the pages, these AMP pages. So what mobile speed is clearly an issue, and the page load speed. What can you do to make that as fast as possible?
I think it's like I said before, just kind of strip it away to the bare minimum. So like if you don't need huge images, don't have huge images. If you don't need like lots of text, slow down the text. Try not to have pop-ups, try not to have tons of ads, anything that's going to basically slow down the user. Because like even here in London, like I'm here, I've got a great phone, but even with a great phone and great data, things are still a little bit slow sometimes, just because there could be tons of people on the network if it's like after dinner or if it's just early in the morning. So try to strip it back to the bare minimum you need and try to sort of guide the user through the experience as much as you can.
And then in terms of actually advertising on mobiles, obviously, that's a key channel to use. But is there anything you should be doing differently with the type of ads you're serving and the way that you target on mobile compared to on desktop?
I think so. I think a lot of brands will try to start off on desktop, so have the experience where the first ad you see for that brand is on a desktop. But I think that's kind of like serving a baby vegetables. It's not going to go very well in the long run. I think mobile's more geared towards remarketing, someone who's already familiar with the brand, they know what your brand is, because it can be hard to sometimes read an ad on an app or on a small device. And so if I've never been to your website or your brand, trying to convince me to look at like a 70 by 90 pixel ad that's really small in your phone is going to be really hard for me to want to go to your website because I just can't read the ad. So I think trying to remarket to people is a lot better of an avenue, because at least they know your brand. There's a better chance they'll come to your website. And if they've already been engaged with you, there's probably a better chance they'll convert in the long run.
And any final tips you could share for mobile? What are the kind of real winning points? What are the real things that could make, maybe small things you could do, but would make a big difference?
I think the big thing is like also making sure that your mobile experience, your desktop experience are the same. Like I was on ASOS's website a few months ago and I was buying this jumper, and it asked me to enter a coupon code. I was like, great, I'll get like 20% off on this jumper. This is really awesome. But the experience on desktop is very different than mobile. Like they have the confirmation button where you say, confirm your order on desktop, and that means you're going to buy it. But on the mobile, that just meant that you agree this is what you want to buy, but there's still a second screen after that where you could enter your discount code, and I didn't realize that. So trying to mirror up, I think, your desktop and mobile experience as much as you can in terms of your checkout flow. And outside of like just remarketing to the people, making sure it's the lowest common denominator in terms of desktop. And then only really use mobile if it makes sense for your users. So God look in like your GA or look in your mix panel and sort of see where do your mobile users go on your website, what do they do on your website, and then figure out what kind of content you can serve them on a mobile device versus just trying to show them an ad for a new campaign that you launch because you think everyone's on mobile, so it should serve them this ad. But if they've never been with your brand, they're probably not going to really care at the end of the day.
So be led by what you can already see from your data, what users are already doing, rather than what you think they might want or what you want to push.
Exactly, yeah. So like if you're YouTube, maybe that's more video. If you're like a startup, maybe that's more content. If you're a video company, it's probably more entertainment. But figure out what they're doing on your website and try to serve more of that versus trying to get them or get people to start off from scratch with your brand.
Great. Well, thank you very much for talking to us today.
Cool. Thank you for having me.